Minecraft Deep Dark is scary until you actually understand how it works. The NG City looks terrifying, the Warden is huge, and yes, it can shoot through a sonic boom through a wall like it forgot this was supposed to be a block game. But after a while, the Deep Dark becomes predictable. You sneak, you avoid sensors, you loot the chests, and you run away from the Warden. And then you never have a reason to come back. So I decided to fix that. I added a new scope mechanic, a new block, revamp the warders, and a ton of new features. Fun! This is how fun it is to keep you updated on my channel, so press the subscribe button. The first thing I changed was the Warden. Now I know some people might say, Gerald, the Warden's already strong, why would you make it even worse? To that I say, because it's funny, and I like to see people suffer. And now what the Warden does, essentially if I... oh. Okay. Now what the Warden will do is, let's see if it will start grab you. It will start breaking blocks at you, and basically turning the whole thing like a living hell. Oh my goodness! And if you somehow got yourself a pickaxe, oh my gosh, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. Oh. Okay. So let's say you were example high-ups and you were able to... It does. Okay, so what it does now is anything that's... So yeah, basically if you think you can escape from the water, you really can't. It will lunge at you now. Catch you later. He's all the way over there. Yeah, but essentially, I just made everything a lot stronger. Another example I can show is if I shoot the Warden and I'm all the way up here, he's gonna get aggro at me. So what he's gonna do is climb, go, and yeah, I could. Essentially, I'm making the Warden 10 times scarier and 10 times stronger because I feel like it. The next thing I added is the new block called the sculk stand. So you might be wondering what the sculk stand does. People always sneak when they're in the ancient cities, which is kind of boring. If you sneak or don't move on top of it, you'll get punished. Like, actually punished. You cannot move at all. Slowly, it will consume you, and you'll start taking damage. Now, it doesn't do that much, but again, you're in the ancient city. Either you mine or you don't. If you do mine, you're going to trigger all the shriekers and the stove sensor. It's really about whether your decisions are right. So, very balanced, very normal. Nothing is wrong at all. I also changed the sculk catalyst. With vanilla Minecraft, sculk catalyst can spread the sculk, and they can generate sensor and shriekers. The shriekers they create do not actually summon the Warden. As you can see, this is a naturally generated sculk shrieker, which is kind of disappointing. But now, once you have a shrieker that's naturally spawned by a sculk catalyst, if you try to set it off, it would work. It would... There we go. Where is it? I see it. There we go. A naturally sculk shrieker. It can now summon a Warden in the point spiral, above ground. Very balanced. And also I forgot to mention, yeah, the sculk scholars will also spawn the sculk scan. So I don't see an issue not adding this. And like you can help by yourself, like it shouldn't be that hard, right? Oh. Now at this point you might be thinking, Joe, this is way too difficult. How are the players supposed to deal with this? And honestly, that sounds like a skill issue. But because I am extremely nice, I added a new system. The Warden now does slightly reduced damage, and I added a new item called the glass vial. And now once the Warden is on 50% below its HP, you can collect its sculk. But you cannot just walk up to a fresh Warden and steal it. Because you gotta get it low, down to 15% health. You have to fight it, weaken it, survive long as close as you can. If getting the sculk glass isn't hard enough, yeah, you can't really do it to another existing Warden. You you have to find yourself another warden. If you haven't given up yet, I don't know what you have. And after, if you completed getting 100% sculk glass vial with the containing of 100% sculk, which objectively is not as hard as you think, you can purify it. Like, just put a glow leeching and then let it purify. Now, once the purify works, if you hover over it, you'll see a purity of 36%. This is where the fun starts. So you know how I said early in the video that this mod is not difficult at all? Well, I made it even more difficult. Not only the difficulty of getting all that 100% sculk, anything that's not 100% purified will be useless. And by useless, I'll show you a demonstration. So let's say if you have this impure sculk vial with the 36% purity and you splash it on the sheep, yeah, nothing would happen. But if you splash it on a player, you will take 3 hearts of damage. Plus, as you can see, your experience is lower now. So not only the impure sculk vial can damage you, something interesting could happen. So let's say you splash it on the Warden. Now what happens is Warden will have resistance and strength for 30 seconds. Yeah, good luck with that if you ever splash on a Warden. And good luck surviving, of course. But let's say you somehow managed to get 100% purity sculk vial. Congratulations, it's a lot of work. So if we spawn a Warden, and if the Warden is doing anything, let's take an example with the sheep, it will get angry, and then if you splash on it, anything that it's doing, it will cancel out and basically dig underground and disappear, which it's pretty good for any player. When I designed it, I wanted to feel like a rare emergency tool, something that can just save you. Only if you like really earn it, right? All that purity, all that work from the Warden lets you earn this. And if getting 1 purified vial is hard enough, then obviously I made it more harder. If you somehow manage to get 8 purified sculk vial and you surround them with a amethyst shard, you will be able to craft a new item called a resonance crystal. So you might be wondering, what does this do? Well, this is only one of the 3 items you need to be able to craft a weapon. And let's say you find the 2 ancient parts and you combine them, you are able to craft the Echo Glaive. So the Echo Glaive is now slower than a sword, but has a special ability. It's called parry. And of course, I missed my parry. So let's say you have a creeper and you're able to parry it. Yeah, you're able to take 85% reduced damage. And after you successfully parry, your next hit triggers something small, not too big. But essentially, if you hit it, you're able to deal sculk damage and some knockback. And how the parry works is any incoming damage, including melee attacks, arrows, trident, and direct damage. But let's say you miss the parry. What happens? Well, as you can see at the start, you slow down. And what happens when you're slowed down? Well, if you try to attack, you really can't. Like, I mean, you really can't. If you even try to swing, it does no damage at all. So, good luck with that. And then, because the mod was apparently not random enough, I added a laser pointer. This item is mostly a joke. It is extremely annoying, which makes it important. So after you craft it and combine it with a color, turning on lets you point at any block and highlighting them. So as you can see, it's red. And it has a range, of course. It does not only work on blocks, it also includes entity. For example, sheep, including players, an invisible kind. So that means that if any sheep was invisible and you couldn't tell where it was, you can just point at it. And because I wanted to make it as real life as possible, any cats, they will follow whatever your laser pointer is going. But that only applies to wildcat and the cat that you tame. Any player, other players tame cat will not be following this laser pointer because it would be annoying to figure out who stole their cat. So that is the mod. Is the mod difficult? Yes. Is it fair? Maybe. Is it my fault if you die? No. Absolutely not. You are simply bad at the game. Oh, one more thing. Don't point the laser pointer in your friend's eyes.